Greetings and welcome back to Stellaris, my United Nations of Earth playthrough. So, we have come a long way. It's been 120 years since we first left Earth. We have started construction on a sentry spire, or a sentry array. It still has a few more upgrades before it is fully complete here in the Brewery system. Our Science Nexus is online here in the Xeris system. We still haven't built the research wings on it, and we are already starting construction of yet another megastructure, or two. A matter decompressor in orbit of Guthrie Maelstrom. We've just begun work on it, and we are en route to begin work on a, where is the ship? It is the Atlantic? No, that's not the Atlantic. That one. The Interstellar Assembly in orbit of Jupiter. We are still a few months out from getting there. Yeah, 2 months away from beginning construction on it, but the materials are already set aside. Palisade Armada finally finished reinforcing for the most part. We have almost got our fleets prepared to finish wiping out the Uthabulan Braves. We've actually claimed Succubus's Ball, so we now have an L-gate in our system, and we can activate it pretty much whenever we want. I'm just not ready to try it. I don't feel we are in a good position to handle it because there is the potential of dangers coming out of it. And right now we have threats on our border and other threats down here that can easily reach our borders. And I also would like to be the one to get to the enigmatic fortress before others do. Hopefully I will still have the time to do that before we bother opening the L-gates. We have 6 potential fleets, though I have not started setting up 6th fleet yet. We're making a lot of use of alloys. We finally have a decent influence income, and our hyper relay network is coming along swimmingly. We've almost connected all the way down to Olmec, and we are beginning to connect down this way toward our other border, and then we just have a few small gaps to fill in up this way. We do need more gateways. Currently we have a gateway at Sol and a gateway at Olmec. And they are connected to a gateway in Gendix, in our subject to the Pirac. So the Pirac are our Scalarium, and the Hazar are our Bulwark. Now, our Federation has been eagerly trying to do some wars of aggression, like against the Gronshu or the Verzak, and I've been trying to keep them in check. When I was going through contacts, I did notice one thing that kind of found funny. If we look down at the 2 fallen empires, they are each listed as inferior to me. Even though their fleet power and technology is still considered overwhelming, their economic power is so feeble that it brings down the average to the point where they're considered inferior. As a matter of fact, going through this list, the Urzo are listed as superior. The Tezekians are listed as equivalent. The Prime Awareness is also superior. The League of Brian States is listed as equivalent, as is the Fire Tribes of Kel, even though their economic power is a little bit weaker. Other than that, everybody is pathetic or inferior to me. And this is with a bad start and bad decisions on Commodore difficulty. So I haven't actually been stressing out a lot. I've been kind of being laid back and playing at the pace I wanted to. And you see I still can outpace the AI doing that. So Commodore is a good setting for those of you who want to focus on your empire and don't want the stress of having to race and to keep pace with the AI. However, about this point in the mid-game, you will start to see the power level of everybody else drop out, especially if you're playing more efficiently. They have done some changes to the difficulty scaling, so I believe my next one I might try a higher difficulty and tweak the settings a little bit, but we'll see how it goes. But for now, yeah, this is not many of them can be a threat to me. The actual crises can still be a problem. So we shall see how all that pans out as we go. Now on to the state of the Empire. After 120 years, our current president is Wadux. She is a Dis, one of the species that we uplifted quite a while ago. She has a bit of a military bent, a reduction to the cost to build corvettes, and a ship upkeep and army upkeep reduction. So it's kind of fitting that we are currently on kind of a military bent to finally wipe out the marauders that are a threat to the galaxy. Now, as for our colonies, Earth has pretty much reached the end of its development for now. There are a few buildings I can upgrade, but they cost resources that I won't be able to maintain. It is primarily my administrative center. But yeah, it has an auto-curating vault, 2 fully upgraded administrative complexes, and it does have a decent amount of industry with the civilian fabricators, alloy megaforges, and the Ministry of Production to support those. And we have the Grand Embassy Complex. Now, one thing about the Grand Embassy Complex is it doesn't provide jobs, it just adds envoys. They are actually adding in the upcoming patch, which is probably already going to have been rolled through by the time this video airs, where this building will be available as an orbital ring building, so you don't need to waste a planet structure on it. You can use it on your orbital ring. But either way, it's consuming a building slot without adding a lot. I mean, there are buildings you can add to the orbital rings that add jobs to the planet. So, either way, it's still consuming a building slot. However, it being part of an orbital ring, there are more ways to reduce the cost to build and the upkeep of buildings and stuff on starbase type constructions than there are planets. As a Empire capital, there's no way for me to reduce really the upkeep on this planet. Whatever I have in upkeep is what the upkeep is. However, if we go to my orbital rings and look at the buildings here, you can see that the upkeep is already being reduced by both galactic ambition and unyielding traditions being finished. So that's a 40% reduction right there. So being able to move the ones, especially the ones that require strategic resources, off of your capital to a place where it could be reduced, since you cannot change the designation of your capital, is good. Earth is still producing synthetic technicians that should be able to push out the last few that are less efficient than mine. Because, yeah, we provide a few extra energy credits. It's just squeezing out a few extra energy credits, even though we produce almost 5,000 a month. Yeah, the overall gain right now is showing as like 500, but I don't think, since I just loaded the game, the trade is fully being taken into account. I believe it's closer to 3K a month that we are getting. Storm also pretty much at the extent of its expansion until it gets an orbital ring. Primarily a military and mining world. It does have several fortresses and a military academy, as well as the buildings to support industry and mining. And it is pretty much at the extent of its growth. It is still producing. Its mining slots are pretty much full with my miners, and it is currently producing the synthetic performers, mainly to become the culture workers and fill out these slots. Once I'm done with that, I will probably go to synthetic workers, because they would be more efficient than the organics for metallurgy and artisans, and I could definitely use the best efficiency I can in my consumer goods output, since I will have a lot of jobs using those. Euxina, the tomb world, is a generator world. It also has military on it, fortresses and military academies, and production and all the buildings required to support it. It also has the Betharian power plant, which is great considering it had more generator districts than anything else, and it was going to be a generator world to begin with. We still have a Cyto Revitalization Center on this world because it is a tomb world, and species other than a few in my empire, like the Saban, they are irradiated, and the Dis, and of course my synthetics don't have great habitability on tomb worlds. We do have tomb world adaptation and a lot of habitability bonuses that make it so where lithoids can have 100% habitability on tomb worlds. Now, we are still producing synthetic performers because we do have at least one more entertainer slot to fill up. And then we don't actually have any culture workers on this world. I just noticed that. So the Cyto Revitalization Center is probably primed to be replaced with an Autochthon monument and its upgrades. Or we could replace one of the fortresses with that. Yeah, I did not realize we did not have an Autochthon monument here. Our technicians are all fully filled up with our droids, or our synthetic workers. Oh, I do have one more clerk I could shift up. Let's close out all the clerk jobs, and then close out the entertainer jobs. There we go, we pulled them up, and we can restore those jobs. And nope, it did not pull that clerk up. Let's try that again. Close out the clerk jobs. Close out all of these clerk jobs and open them up. Yeah, it's not bringing that other clerk up. Huh. Interesting. Because they are much more efficient than the Churk, both in Unity and Alright, so let's restore these jobs. And the way we'll do it is we will get this Churk to move off world, and that will be then I will reopen that job to pull the synthetic person up to be the next entertainer. I believe for now we can handle the small amenities hit from having one less entertainer. We do have plenty of clerks to support. But yeah, that's odd that for some reason now this person will not push up and take the job, even though they are more efficient at it. But yeah, we'll just get that Churk to leave. Although, let me close these out and see if the Churk will go here. Yes, because the Churk would actually be a better enforcer, because they have lithoid, which boosts the army health of our defensive armies they produce. Now that that Churk is up there, let's try it again, since we have actually pulled him out of a spot. Nope, still not getting... Let's close out all of these and try it again. Nope, still not getting them. So we have to get one of the workers here to leave to have the synthetic person able to come back up. Although another thing we could try is see if we could get them as medical workers. Let's try that. Yes, it pulled him up to be a medical worker. So it did do that bit. Now that he's up on this level, I am curious. Oh, we have another unemployed Churk. There we go. Now that he's up on this level as a medical worker, let's see if we can actually get him into the entertainer slot instead. Yes. There we go. So we do have one Saban to leave, basically, or demote, whichever happens. That took a little bit of finagling. That's one of the little bits of micromanagement I have to do every 3 months, just to make sure my empire is running efficiently. Nueva Cadiz is an industrial world with some agriculture. It is set up with commerce megaplexes, in addition to the industry support, and it also has an alien zoo, and of course the buildings to support food processing. It also had a bubbling swamp on this that allowed me to put a gas extraction well on here. It has pretty much reached the extent of its growth, but it still is eligible for Mastery of Nature. We are still producing the synthetic people here, or synthetic performers here. I still do have room to add additional farmers, but I kind of wanted to continue filling up the entertainer slots and the culture worker slots before I switched over to getting the last farmer here. Because if I'm not mistaken, some of these, this world isn't one, but some of these I actually did end up with like technicians and harvesters and miners that got promoted up to fill jobs as they were built. Al-Mada'in is another industrial and generator world. It has the Ministry of Culture on it, which unfortunately is the only Ministry of Culture I have been able to get, because apparently I'm no longer allowed to build those, even if I try to spend the money with the artisan troop to buy another one. It has, of course, the support for industry on here. It also had access to gas extraction wells through a bubbling swamp. And we have a commerce megaplex here, just to add a little bit more variety to the buildings, rather than trying to pile on bureaucracy on this world. It is also supporting, prioritizing SPO3s. It has plenty of entertainer slots that can still be filled, as well as culture workers. I think once I get the entertainer slots filled, which is basically 3 more of these, I will return to churning out technicians just to fill out the last few slots, because as you see, my synthetic technicians are much more effective than the Ralaketh Superior. And even the Tesnids, which are ingenious and get bonuses to energy output, are less effective than my synthetic technicians. Unfortunately, the Ralaketh Superior are serviles, so all they can do is worker jobs, but I'm fine with them getting stuck in as clerks and just doing the menial labor. Blizzard is a research and mining world with some industry. It has dust caverns and crystalline caverns, so it was able to support both mote harvesting and crystal mines. It has mainly research with industry support, but it is one of my primary sources of minerals. And I have returned to churning out the miners here to get the most efficiency out of my minerals, because my mineral production is extremely low at this point. Much lower than it should be at this point in the game. Avalon is a society research world. It has hostile fauna on it. It is pretty much kitted out fully with upgraded research facilities and the Research Institute. And other than that, it is doing the maximum of generators, mining, and agriculture that it can do. This is a world I probably would not worry about adding Mastery of Nature to, or adding additional districts via orbital ring, simply because that would just add a handful more industrial districts, and I do not have the building slots to support that industry. Now you can kind of support that industry through orbital ring buildings, but I would rather the orbital ring buildings specialize in the districts I'm doing. Now maybe at some point I could abandon mining and agriculture on this world and shift it to industry, because that would be a few building slots to free up the food processing center and the mineral purification hubs. But that's something much further down the road, when we have enough habitats supporting our raw resource gathering of mining and energy and stuff like that. It is still producing these synthetic people as well, although I think I should probably shift to the miners to get the most out of the minerals here. I did want to fill out the last few, well, I have filled out as best on the entertainer slots as I can, because these guys have charismatic, so they're real difficult to shift out because it just compares that rather than comparing the unity production of them. And I'd only be adding like 0.6 more unity by pushing them out anyway. So yes, let's go ahead and switch this one to miners. We're just going to go ahead and start churning out the miners now, just to kind of maximize our mining output on this world. It's a very small increase, about a point per person that we would be churning out more. But that's 6 more minerals I would be churning out of this planet, so I think that is worth it. Ultinia is a physics research world due to the wild storms here. It is pretty much stagnated until I can manage a mastery of nature to get it its last 2 agriculture districts. And then if I used an orbital ring with all 4 module slots for extra districts, I could actually make use of the mining districts here as well. And since I plan to do that, my mastery of nature would probably start by adding the mining districts. Now that would mean, yeah, I've already built mineral purification hubs, even though I don't have any mining districts here, because I do plan to access those mining districts. We are currently churning out the synthetic people, or performers still. And I think on this world, we've got the entertainer slots pretty much filled as much as we can. I was just trying to oust these synthetic technicians out of the culture worker jobs. So I probably will continue to churn out the synthetic performers until I have ousted them. Because that was one thing, as I upgraded to the Hypercoms forum, it ended up pulling up my synthetic technicians from down here, straight up there, so they were no longer working the jobs they needed to work. New Jamestown is the one that I believe, yes, I distributed luxuries here because it actually had a negative amenities at the moment. So I am upgrading the Hyper Entertainment forum here because it needs it. It does need more amenities. It's got almost all of its clerk jobs full, didn't have its full allotment of jobs, and was running into amenities issues. This is my engineering research world. It pretty much has, it still has room for expansion. Both a few more districts, which are going to be generator districts, and upgrades to the research labs. 2 research labs remain unupgraded here. And we are still churning out miners here on Blizzard to oust some of these people and make my mining more efficient. Yeah, I produce 2 more points than quite a few of these. 1 to 2 more points than everyone in these slots. Going back to Blizzard, one thing I forgot to mention is my Blizzard robots that were originally on this world are no longer down here in the mining slots, even though they were very efficient miners. They have all moved up to be artisans. So they are all doing the artisan stuff, so their power drills are not making much use up here now that they have promoted out of those slots. So I think I'm going to actually switch them to be researchers. That would make them come over to some of these researcher slots instead, and free up those slots that I could eventually put robotic workers in. Nozomi has poor quality minerals, so I am not doing the mining districts here, but it has getting its full allotment of industrial districts and generator and agriculture. It has all the buildings to support the resource gathering and industry it is doing. Plus it also has chemical plants and synthetic crystal plants and an exotic gas refinery, one of each type, filling out the remaining building slots on this planet. And we are currently in the process of adding yet another industrial district. We are still churning out the synthetic performers here because there are still entertainer slots that I can push out, and I want my most efficient in the entertainer slots just to make sure my amenities stay maximized. After that, I will probably start churning out, because as you see, a lot of my harvesters and technicians have moved up to be metallurgists or artisans. They are no longer down here working the jobs they were designed to do. So I am going to have to end up ousting them. Well, since all of them have pretty much promoted up. Yeah, none of them are still down here. This is the perfect time just to turn all of them into synthetic workers. So yes, I could go, this is Nozomi, I could go to species, go down to my synthetic workers, and apply the template to the 6 harvesters on Nozomi and the 6 technicians or so on Nozomi. Where is Nozomi? 4 technicians.
Situation log has been
That will
updated.
only take 1 month. Yeah, 3,692, but puts it 8 points shy of how much it needs. So it had its calculation just a little off. It was close to a month. Now, that way we can go ahead and shift all of those robots off into the new workers. That makes them more efficient. And I should probably take this time, before I get back to talking about the planets, to redesign the Blizzard robot. So let's create a template for the Blizzard robot. So we can keep those 2 penalties. Those won't affect it. We're going to get rid of the power drills, and we want to give them logic engines. We want them to take over research. I still have 2 trade points left, so I could actually get rid of some of these penalties. So we could actually give them custom made again and get rid of luxurious, and now they have their full allotment of trade points used up. And this will become the Blizzard robots still, and we'll create that template, and we will apply that template as soon as we finish our current species modification, and then shift them over to being the researchers they need to be. Alright, Shangri-La, my Gaia world, it is primarily an agricultural world. I do have the mining districts for now, because I was short on minerals. I also have some synthetic crystal plants and exotic gas refineries still here as a temporary measure. It has room still for expansion. And of course we are trying our best to push out synthetic miners to fill out the mining slots so that they are being more efficient. Some of our miners did move up to be metallurgists, unfortunately. That's not going to be a huge issue because, again, the mining here on Shangri-La is a temporary measure. This will all be shifted over to industry eventually when I get sufficient mineral output off-world. But it still does have room for expansion, quite a bit actually. Xianyang is a generator world, which is going to have extra in industry, but for now, until I can get more mining off-world, its next development is going to be developing the 6 mining districts here on this planet. And then, of course, it will finish out its city districts. So it will also end up with a mineral processing plant, which it already has. And it has some temporary exotic gas refineries until I can get more refineries off-world. And we are producing these synthetic people here, or synthetic performers, because we still don't have all of our entertainer slots used up. And as we had entertainers and culture workers pop up, you see it was pulling our technicians up. So we really want to push the synthetic performers up here to take the jobs that they need to take, basically. And it looks like I finally did get rid of all the medical workers on here. I thought I was keeping the medical workers on all of my tomb worlds, but I guess I decided against it on this one finally. So yeah, I probably will end up replacing the gene clinics on Euxina with a hypercoms for them. This is my other society research world. It's a smaller world, so it's pretty much reached the extent of its development, which is a little sporadic. I switched it to mining because I did not have a shortage of energy and did not need to fill out the generator districts at the time. It has plenty of room for upgrades still, and it does have like a fortress and a military academy. The last building will probably be another fortress, since I felt this many researchers would probably end up being sufficient for this small world, especially considering I now have ring worlds to really do my research. And research output is not a huge issue for me. I'm getting 2 to 2.5K in each field fairly easily. And I still haven't fully developed my research worlds, ring world sections. But yeah, we are producing miners here to kind of push out these miners and maximize our mineral efficiency. Nueva Sonora is temporarily mining, but it is going to end up being an agriculture world in the end. It has administration. Bureaucracy is going to be what fills in the rest of the building slots. Right now I'm in the process of upgrading another administrative office to an administrative park. We did get another building slot, which is probably going to be for the auto-curating vault when I get the crystals to support that. And of course we are churning out the synthetic miners to push out the less efficient people from the mining positions. I believe some of our miners, yeah, all of our harvesters almost have promoted up. As a matter of fact, all of our harvesters have. They've all become bureaucrats. So we will probably transfer all of these harvesters over to be synthetic performers, so we can fill out the entertainer slots with them, and they will be better at the bureaucrat jobs because of bonus to unity output. So yeah, we would probably just transfer all of these synthetic harvesters over, since they all promoted upwards, even though I think they are more efficient than these guys at harvesting. They just all abandon their jobs to become bureaucrats. We'll do the work to make sure that they're the best bureaucrats we can get. Katsuki is still in the process of upgrading its system capital complex. The upgrades to system capital take over a year. It has a military academy and a stronghold on this world. It is going to be primarily military in addition to mining. And as I get more districts, I will add more industry, since it already has all of the buildings to support industry. It still does have a little bit of room for growth. And we are churning out synthetic miners here to get the most efficiency out of our mining, since our minerals are kind of weak. Winzhou is upgrading to a heritage site from an Autochthon monument. It is primarily a generator world, but it actually has the districts to support all of its resource production. And I focused on the mining because mining shortages. That's something I will probably shift eventually to industry, because I already have all of the buildings here to support industry. I just have not started on industry because I needed the minerals more than something that consumed the minerals. And we are, of course, producing miners here until we get the most efficient people in the mining jobs. New Coventry has reached the current extent of its expansion. Since it is primarily a refinery station, more district slots is just going to be trade value from trade districts. It has the full extent of its buildings filled up with various refineries, and is basically just waiting for people to come in and fill out the clerk jobs and the enforcer job. Nobody has prioritized the enforcer job currently because the clerk job actually provides more. It provides a few amenities and trade value. All this does is provide 1 point of stability because there is no crime on the habitat. The population level is not up to a point where crime becomes any sort of issue. Same for St. Pomeroy. No crime. And it has also reached the extent of its development. It still does have some entertainer jobs that can be filled here as well as the clerk and enforcer job. I'm actually surprised none of these clerks have pushed up to be entertainers, but I assume the game considers trade value to be more valuable than a little bit of unity and the bonus from amenities when you already have high amenities. I mean, we're already at 85 stability. I think that is the let's see, where is it? 100% prop approval rating. That's the biggest bonus I can get. My approval is already pretty much maxed through high amenities. There's really no reason for them to stack more entertainers other than the Unity output. San Lucas, my first Ringworld segment. It is a research Ringworld segment. It has 2 research segments so far, providing it with 20 jobs that are not filled up yet. It's producing my synthetic researchers. And it has plenty of room for development. There's still plenty more districts I can build here. I did throw a civilian industries on here, mainly to help support consumer goods for now, because I did not have the exotic gases to add an additional research segment, and I needed more jobs. I figured let's throw some civilian industries on here just to compensate for what we are spending on research, because all of these jobs together would take 20. This one produces 24. So this right here pays for 2 research segments by itself, these 2 jobs. Al Nuqueira is also in about the same state. Yeah, it has the civilian industries as well. Just did them in a different order. I just finally built the Research Institute. It is currently upgrading its heritage site to a hypercoms forum, which this one has already done. So this one was a little later colonized, so it's a little behind on the development compared to the other one, but they're both coming along quite nicely. Each of them have 17 researchers, so that's a lot of research being churned out on these planets. As you see right there, yeah, the researcher jobs, this is where the majority of my research is coming from. That's about 500 research between these two, 500 tech physics research between these two, which is, if you look at my jobs, a third of the amount of physics research I'm getting from jobs is coming from these 2 Ringworld segments. Then we have Mars. This is another world that has a lot of room for development. I started out with the mining districts simply because I needed minerals, though this is going to eventually become an agricultural world when I no longer need the generator and mining districts here. I think it's pretty much going to be full agriculture. Yeah, that is 10 agricultural districts plus the 4 city districts. That would give me a grand total of 14 maximum districts, which is the most I can support without mastery of nature and orbital habitat, orbital ring support. So yeah, that would be the extent of it. Agriculture and cities, if it would be an agricultural world. It has got very little development. It has plenty of room for more development. I'm just waiting for things to grow. And of course, I churned out miners first. I have one final miner before I can switch over to another type of synthetic person, which I will probably start with the people who need to promote up and fill the better jobs, so that it doesn't end up dragging my miners up there. Baffin is my resort world. It is developing quite nicely. We've added some administrative offices to it, and of course robots to churn out synthetic performers who make actually better administrators than most other people, because they produce about a point more unity than these other species that have 100% habitability. Yeah, one extra point entirely would add up as we get more and more bureaucrats. They also make better entertainers. Other than that, the only real development we can do on this world is buildings and just getting it up to the next level, which requires a population of 20, so it's just slowly growing. St. Yegorov is the industrial segment of the ring world. It's about at the same level of development as the 2 research segments. I did throw on an exotic gas refinery, mainly temporarily, just to support the research segments on the other. And it has a class 4 singularity, which I got the plans for out of a reliquary. So this is just a building slot that produces extra energy credits for me. And we are producing our synthetic workers because they make the best artisans, producing almost a full point more than just about anybody else can in the artisan or metallurgist slots. So we do want them, yeah, it's about half a point more of alloys. They make better, far better artisans than metallurgists, and that does help keep my consumer goods from getting back into a deficit. Spring, we also have exotic gas refineries, chemical plants, and synthetic crystal plants on here temporarily until we get more off-world refineries. I did throw a resource silo on here. That mainly got my energy credits up to 100,000 cap. This is my commercial segment, or commercial section of the ring. And that's primarily what it's going to have, is commerce and entertainment. I will actually have probably a city segment or 2 on here to support housing if I need it. Whereas on the other segments, I will probably put housing in building slots. So this being the commercial segment, I didn't really need much more commerce right now. So until I get the strategic resources under control, this is the perfect world to fill in with extra refineries to support. And that brings us back around to Earth again. So there is the current state of all of our colonies. We are going to be getting additional, now, especially now that our influence is rising, we're going to be getting additional habitats soon. And as soon as we get our fleets together, which hopefully will happen this episode, I know I said that last episode, to smash Veracis, we can get over here to create another colony. Unfortunately, it's going to be yet another great agriculture world, but in the interim, I can use it for mining and industry. But yeah, Efrov 2 is a pretty good world. No real rare planetary features that are spectacular, but I can still do planetary, what is the word, prospecting on it, to see if I get lucky and get a rare feature that adds some strategic resources to it. So that's the current state of our empire. The plans I already have ships in orbit of certain places where I want habitats. I can add another refinery here in Almach. And that is pretty much the extent of the refineries I would add here. This last one, I'm actually going to be using an orbital ring around Akatsuki. The Susquehanna that is currently building the Guthrie Maelstrom was actually in position in Yilon over Yilon 2 for a mining habitat, which it will return to when it finishes the Guthrie Maelstrom. I had spoken last episode about adding a habitat over Telesis to collect the living metal. However, doing that, if you are over living metal, nanites, dark matter, or Zro, it creates a research habitat, not a mining habitat. Even though this is a mining station, those resources change it to have research districts. So that is not one I want to churn out right now. I would rather the... and of course he's moving out to build the interstellar assembly site, but he was in position over Caravan 5, which was going to be my next habitat, because exotic gases and the like, I believe they do allow mining segments when you have those first 3 strategic resources on a planet. Volatile motes, gases, and crystals will allow mining segments because the mining designation gives bonuses to those 3 strategic resource gatherers. And other than that, I have a constructor here standing by to be able to claim Veracis Black Hole when it is available, as soon as my fleets are ready. And then my other constructors are all in the process of building, extending my hyper relay network. With the Colorado standing by in Bernard Star when I get the about another month or 2. Yeah, probably 2 months. He is actually going to give Storm the orbital ring. That is going to be my next planet that gets an orbital ring, so I can get rid of the station here in Bernard Star. That will cut down on some of my piracy buildup. Let's see, Nimulin. Yeah, these are asteroids, so I cannot build habitats over them. This system is going to be nothing but a basically a mining system. I could at best build something over the star, like say if I built a Dyson sphere, I don't think it would get rid of any of the ring world, or a ring world here would actually get rid of everything else. But a Dyson sphere I could actually build in this system, and it won't actually remove any of these resources, since all this is asteroids. One other thing I forgot to mention is I did end up buying 5,000 minerals through the market, just to be able to facilitate my building. And I'm not sure how effective a hyper relay through here will be, because they cannot connect through gateways or wormholes. So when you have a divided empire like this, because of Chor's Compass, unless I was able to build a hyper relay in Chor's Compass, this section of my empire will always be disconnected from the hyper relay network that connects to my capital. Same if I jump over here and claim any systems over here that don't have a direct connection to my capital. Unless I connect through another empire, they are considered separate from my hyper relay network. Verzax is rival of Tilinesti.
The special project has concluded.
Citizen State of Azuk broke off their commercial pact with the Commonwealth of Man, and we've completed the species modification. There was the Blizzard robots would be my next one. So yeah, we want to apply that new template to the old Blizzard robots.
Situation log has been updated.
That one will only take 1 month. Now that was Nozomi, so I can go ahead and go to Nozomi. Let's see if I can get them all to be the artisans. Actually, there's an easier way to do that. Close out all of those jobs. Close out all of those jobs. I'm hoping I'm hoping they fill up the artisan jobs first. There we go. And then just restore all the jobs. So we still do have one more synthetic performer to build to fill out this last entertainer slot, and then we're going to probably switch to being synthetic workers and just getting all of them up here. So as I build more industrial districts, I don't have to worry about them yanking my technicians and farmers. We'll fill them out later. Those aren't as critical. And I do have one synthetic performer up here as a politician. And they, by far, make better politicians than any other species. I mean, I could fill out all of my politicians as that, but I'm not looking at for like a synthetic ascension. Verzaktrians awaken psionic abilities. All Verzaktrians throughout the galaxy have undergone a great change. Whereas before their latent psionic power had only blossomed in a small minority, the entire species has now unlocked its full psychic potential. Although these changes seem to have originated in the Verzak Citizens Coalition, they have now manifested in all members of their species, regardless of where they reside. Aside from displaying an array of powerful psionic abilities, Verzaktrians have started to forego verbal communication with each other in favor of telepathy. So we've got psionic moths. Do I have any Verzaktrians in my empire? Not at the moment. But I do have a migration treaty with them. So there is a chance some of them will be migrating to my empire at some point. Doesn't look like any of them are currently headed this way, but eventually I should be able to get some of them in my empire. Although we had our reservations about sending the adventure-seeking veterans to Hazaria, we have received reports from our vassal that they had found themselves at home there, and have proven to be more helpful than one would originally expected. Let's see, that is the Hazar Commonwealth. I don't see any relation bonus here right now. Let's let it advance a little bit. Offer association status to the Hithians. I gained a favor with the Tazakians. Alright, let me look at the Hithians. Easiest way to do that, since these guys seem to be friendly with them, is to see if I can find them somewhere on here. Apparently not. Yeah. So, let's just, I thought I could quickly get there from there. No. Let's go to the Hithians. The Hithians are about to be no more. Commonwealth of Man and Prime Awareness are carving them up. Oh yeah, Commonwealth of Man even got over here to get them. Ah, boy, contacts. Alright, if I were to offer them association status, everybody else is voting yes. I'm going to vote yes. I was just curious which way the vote was going to go and whether I had to worry about it.
The special project has concluded.
We have completed modifications to the Blizzard robot, and I have enough influence to start on the orbital ring here, I believe. Yes. Because both of my other constructors are in the process of building hyper relays, and I will have the influence I need for another hyper relay before they get in position. So we need to start getting our orbital ring set up. Okay, the Hithians were given association status. Although it doesn't really matter, they're about to be obliterated, I think. Oh, well, they may not lose all of their territory. But they're going to lose a significant amount, I'm willing to bet. Between the Prime Awareness, anything the Prime Awareness controls, they are going to keep. The Commonwealth of Man probably has claims. We can actually check that. See, can I... Commonwealth of Man is claiming that one. They aren't claiming this one, but that doesn't matter. This is the only one over here with a colony. They aren't claiming any of these. So basically, they just wanted to push over and grab that colony over there. So maybe the Hithians will survive this. Because the only thing the Commonwealth of Man appears to be taking away from them is the over here, leading to where the League of Phemisto is. That system looks like it got abandoned. I could have sworn it belonged to somebody. But yeah, they haven't even claimed that one yet. They've just... Wait, I thought I saw that they had a claim on this system. Ah, okay, yeah. That one is claimed. That one is claimed. Yeah, I have to mouse over this area. That one is claimed. That one is claimed. That one is claimed. So the Commonwealth of Man is actually claiming every system so far that they have taken. So yeah, they are going to lose a huge chunk. These are claimed by an unidentified empire. What the hell? Serban is currently claimed by an unidentified empire. What empire could it possibly be? I have met every empire. Yeah, I don't understand why that's saying unidentified empire. Well, that's interesting. Waga is currently claimed in Order of Strength, claimed by an unidentified empire, the Hithians, and an unidentified empire. Are those people who used to exist but no longer do? Is that what I'm seeing as leftover claims? Yeah, because Prime Awareness actually doesn't need to claim. They go with Total War, which basically means they get the territory that they conquer.
منكدير سابليسور.
Yeah, they are doing a territorial invasion. So yeah, they've claimed a lot of Hithian space. I think the Hithians are going to get wiped out. I forgot to check the... Alright, Defender war exhaustion is pretty low there. The attackers will probably want to end it before the defenders will be willing to accept it. Well, that's interesting. They are allies with the Commonwealth of Man in this. What the hell? I'm confused. I thought those were separate wars that were declared.
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
Plasma cannons. The latest in plasma weaponry. These cannons are fully militarized versions of the older, somewhat improvised plasma thrower. Their plasma projectiles are even deadlier. And you know, as much as I am not interested in disruptors, there's only 3 disruptor techs. If I research all 3 of them, it will stop appearing, and these will be pretty quick to knock out. So let's go ahead and fully research disruptors, even if I never use the damn things. Got a favor with the fire tribes of Kel. And I actually have the influence. Let me check my 2 civilian ships that are constructing. Alright, the Amazon has finished its construction and is on its way. Yeah, I can go ahead and queue up building this hyper relay. And then we'll go ahead and jump down and get the one in Xeris. If he had been in the middle of constructing, I could actually have had this idle ship here start doing this network that way to meet up. But these 2 are actually finishing the construction of their hyper relays fast enough I can keep them going when I need to. I could actually have this one say, because Luam does not actually have a station in it. I think I could move this one over here, because it'll be a while before I need him, to get ready to build a orbital ring around Dis. Rocket Industrial Enterprises. The rust? What rust? Oh, that rust. Just scrape it off. Scrape, scrape, scrape. As good as new. What can you offer us? We have a ship, a destroyer. Very good, fast, strong, well-equipped. Certainly not getting rid of it for a reason. Oh no. No time to let your mechanics examine it. We want the ship, do you not? Give us 2,000 minerals and the ship is yours. That gives me a caravan destroyer. Don't think I can retrofit them. Minerals are kind of precious to me right now. Not right now. Can you get back to us later? Then we shall call you again before making our leave of your space. But we may alter the deal. That's okay.
Research concluded.
Disruptors! Disruptors fire high-energy bolts that weaken and destroy the molecular bonds that hold the target's constituent atoms together. They are capable of passing through shields and armor to wreak havoc directly on an enemy hull and crew. They have they always start with like 1 damage as their lowest, so they have a huge damage variance. And you can get real unlucky with the rolls. So yeah, we'll go ahead and knock out the ion disruptor. And if we're lucky, we'll get the 3rd one and get it knocked out, and then disruptors will be gone completely from the list. Tezekian Hive guaranteed the independence of the Hithians. Apparently they're leaving my borders already. Do I want a caravan destroyer? Alright, screw it. Certainly. Pleasure! A joy to deal with the United Nations of Earth. We will visit you again. Alright, yeah, screw it. Let's see what this ship is like. Super Clanker. It has a single large weapon on it. Alright, can I retrofit this design to one of my destroyers? No. So, we can send the Yojimbo, the Super Clanker, up to the Scrappers. They were up at a black hole around here somewhere. That's the Curators. Scrappers, Ferronis black hole. About a year for them to get over there. After it gets over there, I can contact them and have them salvage it and get some alloys back, perhaps. So basically I just converted minerals directly into alloys. Well, not directly. In about a year's time, I will have converted it into alloys. Well, more like 2 years, because they've got to send a ship back with the stuff. Alright, they want to stay on Avalon. 2 more myth fell. Let them stay. Let's check out... Oh, there's the orbital ring button. That's cool. And you can go straight to the planet from it. Avalon. Let's just go to our list here. Probably find it a little bit easier. Yeah, that gave me some overcrowding. So these 2 myth fell with Alpine preference are going to New Jamestown. Really? You're going to New Jamestown? It's Alpine. Okay, that works. Yeah, okay, I have no problem with that. What are Mythfel's bonuses? Natural Engineer. New Jamestown is perfect for you. Yes, go over there. Be a researcher. They fell in love with Avalon, but, you know, there were no jobs, so they decided to leave.
Research concluded.
So I had started modifying 2 pops on Ultinia to be synthetic workers, and then I realized I should have made them synthetic performers, so I'm going to let that cancel out. Secrets of Life. Having the opportunity to study the multitudes of life lets us find some common ground for all living beings. The foundational building blocks of life. Naval capacity looks like one of the cheaper ones. Actually, regenerative hull tissue is the cheapest. Yeah, let's go ahead and knock out the regenerative hull tissue just to get it off. Well, it was reserved, but just to knock it out and get a reroll. Alright, now I can retry that. Species modification. It should be the SPO3 that I am applying to the 2 technicians on Ultinia because they shifted up to be culture workers.
Situation log has been updated.
And it'll actually complete tomorrow, since it only takes a month.
The special project has concluded.
Ion disruptors. These upgraded disruptors fire bolts of more destructive ion particles at targets. Do we have the final disruptor, the phase disruptor? That's actually the cheapest one. So we can get disruptors completely off of our list. And there was another world, Nueva Sonora. I have harvesters up here in the culture worker spots. No harvesters down here, so I can shift all of my harvesters to be synthetic performers, since they are filling bureaucrat and culture worker spots. So we're going to apply this to the harvesters on Nueva Sonora.
Situation log has been updated.
And it'll be done in October. And then we'll finally get back to Durasteel laced alloys. And I do have enough influence to do another, let's see. Banus is working, and Yamather are both working on hyper relays. That one's almost done. Change of plans. We're actually going to build the hyper relay here. And then move back to DIS. League of Femisto is rival to the Commonwealth of Man. That's kind of dangerous. You're just begging to get smacked. Commonwealth of Man, return the favor. Alright, Manticore Defenders, Enclave pays dividends. 5,000 energy credits. We are pleased to announce record profits during this fiscal interval. As such, we've included a generous bonus to your regular dividends.
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
Regenerative hull tissue. A genetically altered version of silicon-based bacteria could potentially be manipulated to regenerate non-organic materials. Alright, we can go ahead and knock out Chemical Bliss and Clone Army just to remove them as well. We'll study them even if we don't use them. Just to get these damn things off the list. Because they go by fairly quickly at our current tech output.
The special project has concluded.
Okay, I guess that was all the things I needed to modify for now. That is the weirdest selection of routing a trade route I've ever seen. Instead of doing the 3 jumps down this way to get to Almac, it's routing all the way up here to that gateway to come down through the gateway. What if I told it to go directly to Earth? Yeah, it would still route up that way. Alright, screw it. Let's have it go to Yamather. So that, because Yamather is also doing this weird routing. Why isn't it just jumping down this way to the trade hub? Is it because it wants to use hyper relays wherever possible? Alright, go back to telling him to go to Almac too. That is just the weirdest routing I have ever seen. This one's going through the wormhole and back around when it could just be going through Chor's Compass to get over there. I cannot wait. I think my next thing is I need to get a gateway up here at Blorgsbane so that we're just routing through that gateway straight to Sol. Weird choices of routing.
Ship upgrades applied.
Third Fleet has finally finished upgrading, so I can reinforce the fleet. Now, where... I should have stayed on Third Fleet. So I could see where the ships were coming from. Almac and Earth. Don't like that. Be 3 months before it turns out the destroyers at Almac. Cruiser's going to take the longest. So what we should actually do is go to Earth Station. Go to the shipyard. And tell it to start on the cruiser first. When it finishes that interceptor, it can build that interceptor. And maybe... How long would it take Third Fleet to get to Earth? A year? But as I get closer, the amount of time that the reinforcements will be in nebulous transit will be reduced.
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
Subdermal stimulation. Deep tissue implants are the latest innovation in the revolutionary overlapping of sensory engineering and entertainment experiences. Where we're going, we won't need skin to feel. Alrighty. So naval capacity would be the cheapest. Tracking implants. That's an edict. Empire-wide edict. Let's go ahead and do the naval capacity, the doctrine, interstellar logistics. Durasteel laced alloys. By replacing antiquated ceramo-metal equipment with cutting-edge technology, we can run our forges hotter and longer, increasing production. Alright, let's get the final grade for the flak. And as you see, even with the cost being more than doubled due to my empire size, these later techs still don't take more than a year or so to churn out at my current tech level, or science output. I kind of wish they're planning on rebalancing the tech tree in the upcoming Canis Minor update next year, or first quarter of 2023, and I'm kind of hoping that they make it more
knowledge is
basically
the key to the universe.
increase the gap cost, because by about mid-game, when you start running into these later techs, your science output is growing faster than the gap between techs cost is. So they really should have gone up a little bit more geometrically or even exponentially in cost rather than a kind of a fixed value. Phase disruptors. Extremely high yield disruptors that fire quantum energy charges, causing incredible damage to those unfortunate enough to get in their way. Now that gets rid of one possible tech that can pop up. The arc emitter is the large, or the X-shot version of that, and you see its damage varies from 1 to 1300. I think neutron launchers might be the largest of those. Hyper shields are the final shield research. All of these are fairly close in cost. I mean, that's a tech I'm not really going to make too much use of, I don't think, the arc emitter. I just don't like the damage variance on it. I think because of the random chance of getting really low damage output, despite the shield and armor penetration, you're better off on a weapon with a more reliable damage output, going through the shields and then the armor and then hitting the hull. Overall, it takes about the same amount of time. Yeah, I just haven't really been that impressed with the bypass weapons. But we'll go ahead and research the arc emitter. Maybe I'll make use of it in at least one ship. Yeah. Almost a year for the Corvette to come back and meet Third Fleet. Third Fleet's still quite a ways away from getting closer. Yeah, I think it won't be here before the ones in Almac are churned out. The Galactic Council is about to form. It's really close, actually. If all the people who are abstaining opposed it, it would fail. Senate has passed the Galactic, formed the Galactic Council. Council election imminent. It will be held in 6 months. Top candidates are the United Nations Prime Awareness and Urza organism. Council will be the empires with the highest diplomatic weight at the time of the election. So it is possible for people to alter the outcome by throwing a bunch of envoys in here to boost their diplomatic weight to push out the lower candidates. I guess I could have the one in Almac go ahead and build a hyper relay next to this gateway. And then return to Almac 4. That way, when this one finishes its current one, it's just got one more to build. And maybe it'll reroute the trade routes when the hyper relay network gets set up. Oh, I do have a jump drive. Didn't even think of that. Initiate jump. Let's just jump to Sol Station. Alright, stop. Initiate jump. There. Alright, 14 days it will be in Sol Station. I should have thought of that before after they finished upgrading. That would have cut down on the time it takes for all of these reinforcements to get there. Because now Earth Station is building a cruiser and Almac has finished it, so if I had thought to jump earlier, it would have cut down on how long it's going to take for all of these reinforcements to get to me. But if I get over there and get this last cruiser out of Earth Station, I can start the journey back. It isn't going to change the time, and then they can come back over here. And if I get my time back fast enough, I can just leap over here to Kazoo where everybody else is. Kazoo has still got quite a few upgrades it is churning out for the final fleet. The Amazon is on its way to Sirius. I can go ahead and queue up this Megastructure. And then have it head to Segalia.
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
Doctrine Interstellar Logistics. Amateurs talk about tactics. Professionals study logistics. By ensuring our fleets are regularly and efficiently supplied, we can increase the number of vessels we can effectively support. It looks like Clone Army's the cheapest. Let's get it knocked out. Oh, we have a new proposal. Minor administrative sanctions. The diplomats of empires ignore galactic laws should be politely but firmly shunned. That one was already up there. Somebody must have retracted it and then they turned around and reintroduced it. Yeah, that's the only one that would be new. I don't know who originally proposed it, but apparently they changed their mind. Or got obliterated. It's hard to tell since I'm not being told. Now that's an event that should pop up here. Anybody who's a member of the galactic community, whenever they are destroyed or have a rebellion, have a rebellion or suffer a political change because of a liberation war, we should be notified. Because that's something that would travel like wildfire through the news. Doesn't matter about my independent intel on their nation.
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
Arc emitters. Powerful weapons that launch a lightning arc of chaotic energy at targets, which in part can ignore armor and shields. Well, let's go ahead and get the focused arc emitter, the upgrade for it. Alright, the Pacific is on its way to Lawam. Before it gets there, it's actually going to get be able to set up. Yeah, let's actually direct it over here. I'll have it set up the next month, start setting up the orbital hyper relay network here. And then you can enter orbit of Dis.
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
Gene banks. Filter and curate available genomes for deployment in clones. Let's go ahead and get tracking implants knocked out. And let's go ahead and switch this guy for Dobgor. Flak artillery. Predictive tracking algorithms and even more powerful rounds make these batteries incredibly lethal to enemy strike craft. Alright, final strike craft upgrade. I believe... yes, Pelton can replace him. Alright, finally finished the orbital ring here in Barnard's Star. The next orbital ring I should probably set up. I'm going to leave this station over Breglar. I will probably change it away from anchorage to more defense. But because I have a station here, I don't need the transit hub on the orbital ring around Al-Mada'in. Al-Mada'in could probably use a orbital ring. So let's make our way that way. So we can go ahead, we'll lose a significant amount of naval capacity. That's 24, I think we'll be losing. That's fine. We're not using that full amount right now anyway. And we will lose the transit hub, but we're going to go ahead and downgrade this one. That will enable us to start upgrading the one in Succubus's Ball. Alright, to upgrade this one will require a little bit of influence. Module-wise, Storm has mining districts. It could use more districts. They would all end up being industrial. And actually, in preparation for this, I've already locked this as a favorite job. So that means as I get more specialist jobs, it should not pull any of these robotic miners up. They should remain here because this job is favorited. Yeah, this one could actually use more modules. I mean, more habitation modules. Because they also require influence, so it's going to take a while before I can start upgrading this stuff. Building-wise, I can't see buildings until I get a slot. Galactic community has chosen a new council. United Nations of Earth, Prime Awareness, Urzo Organism. Now, what are my council powers? That's the Federation. Emergency measure. Move it immediately to the Senate floor. Senate is currently in recess. What do I want to move up? What matters to me? I don't have the influence to propose new resolutions, but if I did, probably the Astral Studies Network would be the one that I would immediately push all the way up. None of these, I could push up the Tiyanki Conservation Act. Let's see, it currently has lots of support. If I don't declare this an emergency measure, somebody else is, in the council is going to declare an emergency measure. We're going to do this. Leverage council powers to declare the resolution to Yankee Conservation Act an emergency measure. So it is now currently on the floor. And it looks like it's going to be close. Next election is in 20 years. Now we've got 4 years before we have to worry about that resolution, actually. So we can declare things as emergency measures. I believe we don't have the veto power yet. That has to be proposed. Yeah, we have to enable the council veto power. To get custodians would take a while. Yeah, I'm not actually sure. I know I can denounce empires. Council can denounce empires. Gives them a reduction in diplomatic weight. And empires that are denounced also suffer sanctions. So we can denounce and we can declare emergency measures. The veto power comes with being enabled. We can nominate custodians and so all later. Does being on the council grant any additional diplomatic weight? Does not appear to. And we are picking up harmonious directives. The enlightened decrees of our benevolent leadership will spread peace, freedom, justice, and security throughout the entire Star Nation and beyond. Gives us 50 in our edict fund. Considering our edicts are overflowing by 1,500, this is a drop in the hat. Fourth Fleet finally got its cruiser, so I've got it on the way back. It'll take about a year. Or I had forgotten about Fourth Fleet, and it was Second Fleet or Third Fleet that just got its cruiser and is on its way back. It's still got reinforcements in transit. It's going to take about 2 years for Third Fleet to get over here. Yeah, oddly enough, it takes 536 days for Third Fleet to get there. But Fourth Fleet, that is way over here, will be there, even though it has to jump through here, going all through all there, it takes it 200 less days. Odd. Ah, you're telling me it takes 200 days for it to get all the way over there, or is that just because of the added cooldown from the jump drive before it can actually start using its it's 50% sublight speed penalty while the jump drive is recharging, so it's traveling slower. That was the one drawback to using the jump drive. So it'll be about a year and a half or so. Actually, that cooldown won't last that long, and then it'll speed up. So it'll be a little over a year before the fleet is all converged down here. I've decided to start replacing these gun batteries and such with shipyards so that I can do upgrades faster in the future. It has a handful of upgrades left before I can start reinforcing Fifth Fleet, which only needs one ship. It just needs a destroyer, and it should be at full strength. And then, so about a year and a half or so, I should be taking on Verakus Black Hole. Now, I may not get it all in one go. I may have to pull back for repairs after I clear out quite a bit on this side and their fleets. I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. Members of the galactic community have voted to establish a galactic council. Membership in this august body will be limited to representatives from the three most powerful and influential empires in the community. Until a new council is elected, these are the Prime Awareness, the United Nations of Earth, and the Urzo Organism. The members of the council are expected to lead and safeguard the galactic community. Their increased powers allow them to cut through some of the red tape that so often inhibits the decision-making process in large political institutions. Now we can finally get things done. It's going to take me about 2 months to get the influence to build this last hyper relay here that will finally connect up Almach.
Ship upgrades applied.
5th Fleet is fully upgraded. Oh, not take point. Stop that. Yeah, it's building it right here at Kazoo. It'll take 3 months, and then it will be at full capacity. About another month, and all of the reinforcements should be back for 4th Fleet, or 3rd Fleet.
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
Advanced strike craft. A further refinement in strike craft design. These advanced strike craft are a pilot's dream. Their performance far exceeds that of previous models. Well, this is tied with the cheapest. Oh, we have access to the Titan ship class finally. And the ion cannon station. But I believe before we get the Titans out, we're probably going to get the final upgrade for all of these. That's the final Swarmer missile. That's the final missile. That's the final torpedo. But let's go ahead and get superfluid materials for more engineering research so these turn out a little faster. Because all of these would normally take about 9 months.
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
Focused arc emitters. These upgraded emitters are equipped with a better focusing lenses, resulting in a more powerful energy discharge. Well, I believe this is the final version of the proton launcher. And I should probably swap this guy out for the person in the Aldrin again. I just realized. Because what we are researching is not Voidcraft. I think that actually added a month or two to it. Because he's lower level, but still.
Construction completed.
Alright, this is going to be a defense station. And we are going to start with hangar bays. I've got a little bit of living metal stockpiled. I'm going to go ahead and buy 500. So I can fire up this edict, the living metal mega construction, just to improve the build speed, because I really need to get my matter deconstructor up and running faster. Matter decompressor. And so that is going to be my priority for the alloys when it comes, even though I'll have enough pretty soon to upgrade the Sentry Spire. I'm going to wait until I have enough. This is going to be my priority to solve my mineral issues.
Research concluded.
Achievement unlocked, surfing the web. What is that achievement? Have a network of at least 30 hyper relays in systems you own connected to your capital. Okay. Tracking implants. Further advancements in the field of subdermal implants can provide detailed information regarding the movements and actions of the implanted. That boosts my encryption, reduces crime and happiness. It's for authoritarians more than me. And I guess we'll study the Xenomorph army just to remove that one. And we can put Tetrana back in here. You know, it's interesting. I noticed in the order here, Mississippi was the first one I had. Second one I had was the Susquehanna. They're the top two. Third one I had was the Amazon. It actually has both the Atlantic and the Pacific above it. Citizen State of Azuk has declared League of Brian States their rival. Unprotected trade route in the Gorham system has attracted the attention of pirates. Where is Gorham? Right there. Sons of the Night. I don't have defense platforms here. So I need to get a fleet over there to deal with it. It's only a 795. Ahab is 4K. We will send the Ahab to deal with them. It'd take him a year to get there. The Hazar Commonwealth is renting that mercenary fleet. Oh, and I actually haven't checked. Yeah, it would be 5,000 alloys to boost them another level and build up their fleet size more. I'm going to hold off on that. What size ships do you have? Oh, you're churning out battleships now. We started with a fleet of corvettes, but now that they have more fleet capacity, they're actually getting bigger ships, which is kind of the way I hoped it worked. But yeah, this pirate fleet, it's all brigand class and reavers. They're all small ships. Raiders. It would be nice if my ally right here would just jump down there and deal with them for me. Had to buy another 5,000 minerals to support some construction. I got a few more capitals being built.
Red alert. Spaceport under fire.
Now I wonder if I could churn out. It would take 2 months to get one of these. I don't think I'll get a platform out fast enough. Really should have upgraded this station, but oh well. Actually, I probably should try it. I mean, if it fails to come out, it fails to come out. But let's see if we can get a defense platform churned out before this place is destroyed. Because we've already knocked out half the armor of their fleet. Darbalin has a migration, broke their migration with the Garanchu. $28 more days.
Construction completed.
It does have about 6,000 hull, so it might last long enough.
Construction completed.
Oh right, I was switching to shipyards here. Yeah, we're only down to 5,000 hull. I'm actually going to try churning out a second hangar. And it's entirely possible we can hold off there. If I had started churning these out earlier, it might have been better. But we have a chance at these defense platforms because we've already done quite a number on these ships. Yeah, that one's halfway dead. Same for that one. Yeah, they're several of them that are really low. That one's almost out of armor. So it's possible if we can knock out a few of them fairly quickly, it will cut down on how quickly they're chewing up my hull. And I do have 5,000 hull. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and queue up the other hangar as well. And maybe we can actually take out this fleet, because we've already dropped it, dropped some ships out of it. It was 700, I believe, 724. Yeah, maybe we can manage to take them out with just that starport.
Research concluded.
Oh, just as I started. Neutron launchers. Upgraded energy projectiles that rely on neutrons instead of protons for their destructive power. Now the final shield upgrade looks like it's going to be the cheapest. Yeah, I like it better when upgrades in technology like your shields and your weapons take at least a couple years. We're up to the point now, and as I said, I'm not the most efficient with my my research at this point, where I can knock out multiples within a year or so, which means you speed through upgrades basically. So I really wish the cost of technology improved a little bit more dramatically. There we go. We got one farpoint hangar out. We've still got 4,000 points of hull. Maybe we will obliterate this fleet fairly quickly with the farpoint hangar.
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
Oh, what is this? Thank you so much! The Pirac did bring that big fleet down to deal with the Sons of the Night for me. And we are going to get our 2 platforms out. So yeah, the Pirac is about to obliterate these guys. Oh, thank you so much. Superfluid materials. The study of superfluidity promises to marry quantum mechanics with the fundamental interaction of gravity. Alright, now we can start getting some of these others knocked out. Let's get the final impulse thrusters. Yeah, that one will be fairly quick. And we'll remove one from the list. Now, there are further upgrades above this, the dark matter versions of it, but in order to get access to it, you have to actually go up against a fallen empire. I want to see the combat. I want to watch these guys get blown up. Yeah, they just obliterated them. Thank you, guys. That was so kind of you. Oh, I can look at your details. Gamma lasers. They're using disruptors and a particle lance. Actually do have the tachyon lance as well. They haven't bothered to upgrade a lot of their ships. Yeah, they've still got level 4 lasers, level 3 rail guns and stuff. The AI does a bad job of retrofitting its designs, honestly. So yeah, we took out 8 of the raiders before they came in and finished them off. But yeah, that was so kind of the Pirac, though technically I think they're on their way somewhere else. Well, it says no orders. Let's see what they plan on doing now. I guess they just came in to deal with the pirates, rather than were just passing through and happened to intercept them. They actually actively came over here to deal with the pirates for me. I like that. Thank you so much. Which reminds me, I better tell the Ahab to come right back over here. Yeah, that'll still take 5 months. I think all of my other fleets are in position. Third fleet, all the reinforcements have caught up with it. Yeah, all of my fleets are in position. Ahab's fairly quick. I'll just have it follow First Fleet, or whichever fleet I end up targeting here. Fifth Fleet, that works. Now these 5 fleets are getting ready to venture into there. 3 months. How long will it take you to catch up with them? You'll come in late to the battle, but that's good, so you're not getting targeted because you were faster. Oh, don't close that. Just scroll up. So the Sahara is currently idle because I'm waiting for the influence to be able to build an orbital ring around Winzhou. I'm waiting for the influence for a habitat for that ship. The Susquehanna is almost done with the start of the matter decompressor, and then I should have the alloys in about a month or two to be able to start the upgrade on it. The Atlantic has still got probably another year on building the interstellar assembly site. And my final few hyper relays are getting set up. One in Kochab and one in Sugalia. As soon as I get the Sugalia, I've got Marith and Succubus's Ball, and then Cybrex Alpha, and then if I want to do hyper relays along here, I can do that. Completed the matter decompressor site in the Gathi Maelstrom system. Construction site station serves as the base for future construction of a matter decompressor anchor. An advanced gravity redirection engine holds the facility base on the edge of the black hole's event horizon. All right. I need 1250. That would take me 3 months to get. Let's just go ahead and buy some. I'm still a little shy. I can wait till next month to start construction on this. Alright, I should have enough alloys now to begin this anchor. It'll take nearly 5 years. So I'll probably end up having to buy more minerals to deal with my deficit if I don't get my mineral production up. But once this is up, my deficit will go away for a long time.
Research concluded.
Morphogenic field mastery. From its cradle as a purely pharmaceutical venture, advancements in our understanding of the morphogenic field allow for direct subconscious interfaces with organic units. Let's go ahead and get the habitability increase. Yeah, it'll take 12 months for Tetrana to work on that. Now see, this is about the length of time I kind of wish it took the upgrades for like level 4s and 5s. But this one's getting knocked out pretty quick because they don't take into account the fact you're going to have a lot of bonuses later on. Why do my fleets have no order? What the hell? First fleet's taking off by himself. Everybody, catch up. That's first fleet. Second fleet is the one taking off by itself. Alright, let's try this again. First, second, third, fourth, and fifth. We're going to have you meet up here first. Boy, that would have been a disaster. One fleet taking off by itself.
Construction completed.
Oh, black hole in the system. Yeah, we'll get a black hole observatory there. Completed construction of the interstellar assembly site in Earth, or in the Sol system. Now that one's headed back to the Coravon system. I am short on crystals. Let's buy 500. That was the Pacific, right? Yes. Build our last hyper relay over here. And we'll just stay idle in this system because I want to put a gateway here as well. But yes, as soon as Amazon finishes the one at Marath, and the Pacific finishes that one, I will have a hyper relay network pretty much complete except for Cybrex Alpha, and if I wanted to do a small hyper relay going past this colony. All my fleets are about to converge.
Construction completed.
So let's tell them to move into this system. Now, did it give them all the orders this time? Yes. Okay. Wanted to make sure. Go ahead and swap that final shipyard out. And I guess go ahead and queue up swapping this out for a fleet academy. That'll be the main place that I'm sitting here coming back to get repairs and reinforcements at. Now I need to let my influence bank up so I can, when I finish this construction, I will be able to claim this system and that system. But my hyper relay network is pretty much completed, so that takes care of that anyway. And here goes nothing.
Engaging hostile station.
Well, that was quick. We just blew it up in like one shot. Alright, so that debris... No traces of components we have not already researched. I thought I had changed it to salvage debris. I'm pretty sure I had changed my policy to, yeah, scavenge debris. Still requires a science ship, it appears. We already got a combat complete for the galleon. Yeah, no traces of components we have not already researched on any of these, it appears. You're not fighting anything. Go over there. Captain Anaya Swami, the commanding officer of the UNS Akshay, served with distinction during the recent engagement that took place in the Verakus black hole system. The Admiralty on Earth, recognizing the qualities of a promising flag officer, has decided to promote the captain to the rank of full admiral. Ship upkeep and ship weapons range. I can't change out fleet commanders who are currently engaged in battle. It's kind of disappointing that they all kind of broke off and went different directions. I would like the fleets to have stuck together.
Research concluded.
Impulse thrusters. These highly advanced fusion-powered thrusters provide ships with unmatched maneuverability and speed under sublight conditions. We can get the final cannon upgrade. And let's go ahead and put our propulsion expert back in here. Well, we just got another combat. First Fleet lost one destroyer, taking out a void dwelling and an outpost. No, it's also been in combat with some other stuff. Thank you very much. It's taking a while to tear down this galleon. Why are you sitting here idle doing nothing? Alright, just sweep around the outside and take out these little outposts if you're not going to do anything else.
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
Well, I went a day past, but that's not a big deal. Hyper shields. These reinforced and hardened energy shields are incredibly powerful. The protection they offer is second to none. Now everything's going to cost a significant amount. The Dyson Sphere and the Quantum Catapult are not critical to me per se. Dyson Sphere, it generates energy, which is not something I have a shortage of. Quantum Catapult, I have never actually played around with one, but from what I've seen in the videos, they're a little bit disappointing. Everything else is repeatable techs. Building cost, shield hit points, energy weapon attack speed, energy credits from jobs. I think building cost, yeah, let's see, 23 months versus 26 months. Not much difference in the times here. These would remove two options anyway. I guess we can go ahead. Well, this is a fixed option. But we could go ahead and knock these two out just to remove them, even though I won't be building them anytime soon. But I actually think going for the gravitational analysis to get the building cost reduced will help me out, considering my minerals struggle. So it appears I'm down to just repeatable text for the most part in physics. Now I need to go through my empire real quick. They've only got one fleet left. It should drop fairly quickly. Seriously, I'm watching a battle here, and you guys want to go to war, to vassalize the Garanshu, which is listed as overwhelming. What the hell? There's no way they're overwhelming to us. No. Really, you're just going to tell me about the asteroid outpost? You got nothing better to do? Get over there and kill that one. There's still a raiding fleet over here to deal with. You. Yeah, he's listed as a neutral target. Yeah, we're going to take out this raiding fleet. And what about you guys? Alright, you four also. Where are you moving to? Oh, you're returning back to your position. You also attack them. Now, overall, we didn't lose too awfully many ships. We did take some damage. I am going to repair before I go after their final area. More to give me time to come in here and claim areas than anything else, because if I clear that out, Pirac may rush down here and beat me to it. There's a lot of debris in here. Alright, so you... Where is the science ship I had heading? They're right there. You, we're going to put you on passive, just so that you won't cancel your orders. You're going to scavenge all the projects in there. Actually, wait a minute. We're going to have you jump here. And then scavenge all the projects in the system. It'll take him a little longer to move around between projects, but he'll get here a lot faster. We've just got that little bit to clean out there. Let's go through our battle reports. It doesn't look like we lost any battleships. They actually had some point defense. And they had missiles as well, and we shot down a lot of them. Did any of their missiles get through? Antimatter missiles, yeah, they did 304 with some antimatter missiles on our hull. So a few antimatter missiles got through in the end there. That was it. Just a few of their antimatter missiles got through. Our point defense managed to nullify the majority of them. We shot down nearly 1,000 missiles. I think that worked out. But yeah, if we look at the fleets here, just go out and do this. Ahab finally made it in. If we look at the fleets here, some of the battleships got damaged, but yeah, no fleet is missing any battleships. And we only lost 3 cruisers. 9 destroyers, and 4 corvettes. That wasn't too bad, actually. After we finish taking care of this neutral raiding fleet.
Engaging hostile forces.
See how well this one goes. Oh, we've already got one of their frigates down. Oh yeah, they're popping like flies. Oh. Looks like it's saying we lost 2 destroyers in that fight. In 3rd Fleet. No missiles whatsoever and no point defense. Alright, so now all of these fleets, I'm going to have them go to the station here. They should be able to repair here. And after they're done repairing, you know, that's not too far for reinforcements to churn out. Actually, no, let's send them back to Kazoo, because I think I am going to upgrade them. Because by the time they finish repairing and all, I should have most of these techs done so that I can do a final class for each of them. It's 3 days away from jumping into the system. There we go. Now that we have all the final debris, scavenge all the projects in the system. League of Brian States, stop guaranteeing Alvathori's independence. Really wish it would give me a notification when it finished hyper relays. As soon as it is done with the hyper relay, I should have the influence to come here and build a star base. I'll go ahead and queue it up when I get the influence. Next month. There is a lot of minerals in this system. There we are. Going to be building that, and then that one. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and have Kazoo before they come up. That's an ocean world. Let's go ahead and start building a colony ship. And I want people with ocean world preference. Charismatic, energy credits from jobs. This is actually a farming world, is what it's going to end up being. There, you're agrarian. We'll send the Kells in. It's going to take about a year, and then we will be able to... we'll probably have this system by then so that we can just select colonize from here when that's built. So looking at available buildings on this orbital ring around Storm, I have a building that will increase the output of minerals from miners, the low-gravity mega refiners. We also have one for farmers and technicians, amenities from clerks, unity from bureaucrats, managers, priests, and telepaths. You can boost artisans or metallurgists. Now, Storm is primarily going to get the mining bonuses, but I could use the 2 building slots after my mining situation is taken care of. Could use the 2 building slots to further boost alloy and consumer goods. That will help out quite significantly, because it is pretty heavy on the industrial districts, especially when I finish adding habitation modules to it. Right now I'm in the process of building one. It's going to take about a little over 3 months for it to be built, and I can build 2 more, which means I can start adding more industrial districts on here. But in the interim, I think I may do the mining boosting, because this is technically a mining world. But that is another encouragement to specialize your worlds, actually, because that means you'd only need one of these structures to actually boost whatever you're doing, whether it is consumer goods or alloys. However, since you can have 2 building slots, you could actually boost both of them. You just wouldn't be able to boost resource production. So you'd have to decide whether you want your world to be enhanced for the resource production or enhanced for the industry, which is going to come down to which has more districts, in my opinion. And in the end, I'll have more industrial districts. This being a mining world is already going to be boosting mining a bit. Of course, I don't necessarily need it to be a mining world when I get my minerals elsewhere. I could switch this to be an entirely industrial world, honestly, later on. I've got 18 orders about debris.
Interstellar debris analyzed.
So we scavenge alloys from these debris. Yes, that's what I was hoping would happen. So yeah, we're going to get a little bit of alloys. It was about 20 something I got out of that one. If we get about the same out of each of these, we're getting 20 alloys every 3 months and some change, because it's going to be some travel time to move between them. Yeah, it's going to take him 10 days to move between them, and then 90 days to research. So we'll be getting a little bit of alloys throughout here, which will help us in our mega construction. And I'm finally on my way to claim this system. It's going to take me 2 months to get there, and then probably close to a year to build the starbase.
Knowledge is the key to the universe.
Got a favor with the Pirac. Gauss cannons. The updated version of the old coil gun design is even more destructive than the latest railgun designs. It is capable of launching projectiles with incredible accuracy and speed. I think the armor would be a good one to research next. And then we'll probably get started on citadels if another one like the missiles or something doesn't show up. I decided that floating sky dome, or floating utopia and the sky dome that I got from the reliquary probably should be on the resort world so everybody can come visit it.
Research concluded.
Eco-integration studies. Additional study into different planetary climates will allow us to settle our population on worlds previously thought too hostile to support them. It's like naval capacity from the Doctrine Fleet Liaisons will be our next one. I think I'm going to go ahead and set aside the resources for the hyper relay here. And where do I want the Amazon to go after that? Probably to Blorgsbane to get ready to set up a gateway. And actually, rather than taking all the time to get over there, can I just jump there? Now the jump drive's recharging. Or I'm in a hyperlane, that's what it is. Now I should be able to jump there. Let's see, if I control shift click a jump. Why are you not giving me jump range? Cybrex Alpha is out of jump range. If I control left click a jump here. Yeah, he'll jump first and then do that. Now he will be a little bit slower, but traversing all of that distance quickly, I think, makes up for it. We'll see. We will pledge ourselves to the United Nations of Earth for now. They're pledging secret fealty to me. Interesting. Alright, now how long is it going to take you to get there? Yeah, 2 months. So that knocked about 100 days off of the trip, because it was 155 days for him to get here to set up the hyper relay. Fleets are starting to get repaired. I could go ahead and start reinforcing them now. Let's see, where did that bring your reinforcements from? Kazoo Station. As a matter of fact, they're already churning them out. Alright. Cancel any that are not at Kazoo. We want Kazoo Station to churn out all of these reinforcements. Tezekin Hive made peace with the Zufan agents. They are humiliated. So yeah, they got the crap beat out of them by the Zufan agents. I only need one ship. Where is it being built? Earth. Okay, we'll hold off on any more reinforcements until a few months have passed and we've cleared out some of the queue here at Kazoo. Yeah, it's going to take a few months to clear out the queue here. 3 months we'll have those 3 out of the way and these 3 destroyers being built. And then, yeah, about 3 months we can start queuing up a few more reinforcements. All of our fleets are now fully repaired, I believe.
Interstellar debris analyzed.
Yes, all appear to be fully repaired. We got 148 alloys from that scavenge. Okay, so 21 was kind of low. That must have been from one of the small little stations. The one that just got was from one of the fleets. So some of these are going to have small amounts, some will have larger. After I claim these 2 systems,
Construction completed.
I am going to want to put hyper relays in here to reach this new world. I'm not going to claim this system. After I clear it out, I am probably going to let the the Hazar have it. We can go ahead and start the upgrade to Starhold here. Knowing what I know now about the orbital rings, it makes specializing a planet into one thing even more fitting. Since you're limited in the building slots of the orbital rings, you can only really boost 1, maybe 2 different things. So Euxina would be a good example here. I could boost the generator district and one side of the industrial district, either the artisans or the metallurgists. So that would be a reason to actually run Forge or Factory World. And that would also allow me to replace this building here, one of these 2, with the Galactic Stock Exchange. Or something else for jobs, like say more fortresses. But the Galactic Stock Exchange, since I can only have 1 on each planet, kind of like the Autochthon monuments. The drawback to that is right now the reduction in upkeep is more valuable to me because I have a lot of buildings that are using the strategic resources, and that little 10% makes a huge difference across all of your worlds. Now maybe about 50 years from now, when I have about a dozen refinery habitats and have a nice surplus of motes, gases, and rare crystals, I could switch away from urban world here and decide to specialize it as either a forge or a factory world. Get rid of one of these buildings and just need the one in an orbital ring around it.
Construction completed.
Alright, so we've claimed this system. Before I come back and get all of the stations in it, I'm going to go ahead and head this way. It'll take 3 months before I can build the starbase. How long will it take me to move here? 2 months. So I guess maybe I can build one station here before I head out. Let's build the research station first and then head over there. Although one of these mining stations might have been a better choice. Yeah, that has an 8 value. Let's build that mining station instead. And then head here. Now that will probably take my time, and I would have the influence by then. We have a favor with the Darbalans.
Interstellar debris analyzed.
Another 151 alloys. Alright, looks like all of the ships are down to the final. There's no extras queued up. Let's see if I can get repair. Yeah, that one will come to Kazoo. Let's get rid of the 2 at Earth. Yeah, still doing Earth and Almac for that fleet. So yeah, we'll have to wait probably another month to clear out some more space so we can queue up the rest of the repairs there. Well, Third Fleet just had one ship come out. Let's see. Oh, still doing Earth and Almac. Got a favor with the Darbalans. Again, that was 2 months in a row. And the United Ubaric Pact. Neutronium materials. This incredibly dense and strong material can resist firepower that would turn armor made of any other alloy into slag. So apparently I forgot to start recording. All you missed was the Tazekian Hive declaring the Zuafan Ancients their rival yet again, so apparently they didn't learn their lesson. Alright. The Mega Cannon, final missiles, final torpedoes. Let's get the Marauder missile. Actually, the Whirlwind, we have more of them. You know, I kind of forgot all about somebody I sent up here. It was a year or so ago. Let's have a chat with the conglomerated scrappers. We'd like to scrap a fleet. Following fleets are within range. Yeah, I'll get only 10 alloys out of this. It'll cost me 300 energy credits to do it. But the vessel's otherwise not doing me any good. See, we'd like you to salvage some debris. Furnish us with the coordinates. They'll deliver technology or materials to us within 90 days. It cost energy credits to get a lot of those debris knocked out faster. I still have 4 years or close to do all of that. I'll just do it all myself. There's no rush. Gives my science ship something to do. Alright, I have room to do 2 more ships here. See if Second Fleet will actually do its reinforcements at Kazoo. Yes, it will. Third Fleet had 1 more ship. It keeps wanting to go to Earth. And Fifth Fleet has 2. So 3 more ships. and will be fully reinforced.
Interstellar debris analyzed.
445 alloys for that one.
Construction completed.
And my food is full. Alright, we now have all of the, we now have the Fleet Academy up and running. That's what that is. Well, I'm not capped on energy credits. Let's just sell a chunk of food. We're earning 400. Yeah, let's just sell 10,000. Actually, let's go ahead and sell a few more groups of 10,000. Plenty of surplus food, because I'm going to have to buy more minerals. Let's actually just buy 10,000 minerals. Solve my problem for a bit. As our Commonwealth wishes to declare war against Verzak to conquer them, no. Got a favor with the Pirac. And we're in another election cycle. Before we check out that, I need to quickly see if I can reinforce these fleets here. Kazoo Station, good. What about 5th Fleet? Both at Kazoo Station. So all of my fleets are now being reinforced. And it looks like 3 months' time, they'll all be back at full strength. And we can wipe out the remaining bit of the Uthabulan Braves. After that, we should have most of the final techs researched when we move down to Almac to get ready to take out them. Now, let's check out this election cycle. All right, she's only 76 and is the leading candidate. Tilinesti is guaranteeing the independence of the League of Phemisto. We're about 3 years away from the matter decompressor being online.
Research concluded.
We got another 21 alloys. Doctrine Fleet Liaisons. By maintaining a professional core of fleet liaisons, we can improve communications and the flow of orders throughout the chain of command. Ah, fleet command limit, another one.
Construction completed.
Alright, finally got that star base. Let's build a research station here. And go ahead and queue up a hyper relay in this system. It takes 6 months to build. Oh, I meant to build the research station first. Queue up that hyper relay, and then we'll come back in here to build all the mining stations. We might build a hyper relay before. Yeah, let's go ahead and queue up going there. Build the hyper relay, and then we'll fill out this system. But now that that is in my empire, I can just go ahead and tell them to colonize that planet. Still got quite a few debris left to salvage there. We've almost gotten enough alloys to start work on another one of the megastructures. Esteemed patron, we are pleased to announce record profits during the fiscal. We've included generous bonus, just energy credits. My minerals monthly gain has increased drastically. That's not online yet, but it just jumped about 100. Huh. I wonder if my Overlord subsidy dropped somewhere. We got a favor with the Darbalins. Train of cargo barges has just arrived from the conglomerated scrappers carrying a consignment of reclaimed resources. The salvagers enclosed a message expressing their thanks, as well as a tangible gift, some form of kinetic artwork. The way it moves within our artificial gravity fields is unnerving, and yet quite captivating. All that for 10 alloys. We got a little bit of unity because we fulfilled our president's mandate. Wadogs was reelected. Our new mandate. City districts, not a problem. I'm going to be building at least 2 for Efrov. The greater good. Our entire population takes comfort in the knowledge that they are working together for the greater good. Each one a small but important part of a vastly larger whole. So in about 3.5 years, I will have my final tradition. That will reduce my empire size from Pops, which is still by far my largest area. Yeah, that's going to knock about 130 off of there. And get my final Ascension perk, which will be Xeno compatibility. All of my fleets are back to full strength. It's time for them to begin the journey over to Almac Station. That will take about 5 months. Yeah, some of them travel a little bit faster than the others, but about 5 months, all of them will be there. In 5 months... Wait, where am I going? It's not time to go over there yet. Yeah, it's time for us to head and finish the last bit of them, which will take about 6 months. But yeah, we're going to go in here and wipe out the last bit of the Uthabulan Braves. Time to renew our patronage of the arts. And let's organize a festival across the worlds while we're at it. Got a favor with the fire tribes. Let's renew our deal with the conglomerated scrappers. And I believe we can reverse engineer some alien technology. Still got another 5 years before we can reactivate the Galatron. While the artifact we're researching has not yielded immediate results, they're accelerating research. Okay, so there's the 10% research for the next 5 years. That'll really help out. And it has been another 5 years. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.